Hi, guys. I have a question that I want to ask you guys today. I want to know, who do you trust? Think about it. Who do you trust? Is it your mom? Is it your dad? Is it your sister? Is it your brother or your spouse or your best friend? Is it a coworker? Who is it that you trust? Think about that. Now, even more importantly, I want to know, why do you trust them? What makes this person trustworthy to you? Is it because they're honest with you, even in the times when it's hard to be? They still tell you the truth, even risking that you might not want to hear it and you might get mad at them and you might reject them. Is it because this person says they're going to do something and then they follow through with it? So they're reliable. Is that why you trust them? Or do you trust them because they don't talk about other people? You've been around them when other people have been gossiping about someone and this person didn't engage and didn't say anything negative about the person. In fact, maybe they said something positive about the person. So again, why do you trust who you trust? All right, hopefully you have somebody in mind that you trust. Okay, now I want to talk about something else. We're going to come back to that in a minute. But now I want to talk about this. Okay, so it's fall and the weather is getting cooler. Love the fall weather. The leaves are about to change. There's lots of fun things we can be doing outside with the weather change. And one of those things is going to a maze. And we have those here in Oklahoma. Sometimes they're corn mazes. I don't know about Oklahoma though. Wheat mazes, some kind of mazes, okay? But basically they look like this right here, all right? So here's a maze. And as you can see, you enter through one side and you go through this maze and eventually you come out the other side over here, all right? This one right here is like a little small maze. It's very simple. Here's the entrance, here's the exit, or vice versa. But you go in and it's an easy one to come out. So that's probably for beginners. This one, however, this one is going to be more difficult. As you can see, there's several different ways to go. When you go in, you can either go this way or over here or over here. But you're blind when you go in this because you can't see above it and you can't see beneath it. For example, I have another illustration, just like this right here, just like these kids right here. As you can see, the maze starts at the very bottom of the field, so you can't see underneath it. And they're so tall, they go above your head. You can't see over it either. So pretty much you're walking through this maze and you're having to guess where to go because you can't see and you don't have a map. And so you're just moving, hoping you're going, turning the right places so that you eventually come out at the end over here, okay? But the reality is as you go through this maze, sometimes you're going to end up going in a circle where it brings you back around to where you started, okay? I can relate with that because there's been many times in my life that I've gone around the same mountain expecting to get to where I wanted to go, but not getting there because of doing it my own way. All right? Yes, it's true. Okay, so I have a point I'm going to make here in a minute. Bear with me. Okay, so now I want you to imagine going through this maze, and at first it's fun, and you're having a good time, and you're laughing with your friends or with your family members, and then after a little while it gets frustrating because you still have a long distance to go to get over here to get out of it. But everywhere you're going, you end up coming back to the same place and you can't seem to make it to the other side, to the finish line, okay? So now I want you to imagine with me that all of a sudden you hear that person that you trust. You hear them calling your name and you're like, where is that coming from? And they're saying, Shanda, Shanda. And so you look around and you're like, where are you? And you look up and you realize that your friend that you trust is up in a tower in the middle of the maze. Okay? So here's this tower, and they're right up here. And what's so great about this is that they can see the whole maze. They can see everything. You can't, because you're still walking and blindly through this maze, wondering like, where the heck do I go? I turned that way a while ago, and I ended up back here, and it seems like everywhere I go, I keep hitting these walls. I'm not getting anywhere. All right. So again, you hear your friend, and it's the friend you trust. So they're saying, Shanda, hey, I can see you. Yeah, if you go this way, you're gonna get to the area where you're gonna be able to go further. So listen to where I tell you to go. Just listen to me and I'll help you. And so now you're like, wow, okay, this is great news. Like, I'm gonna listen to them. I'm gonna willingly listen to them, and they're gonna help me make it through this. So you do. You listen to your friend, and they're like, you're doing great. Yes, keep going forward. Go a little further. Okay, now turn right. Okay, now stop right there, and now go straight. Okay, now turn left. All right, so you listen to them, and they lead you through this maze because, again, they can see the whole thing. You can't. You can only see in front of you and behind you. And on each side of you is the maze, and it's like walls, so you can't see. So you listen to your friend that you trust right up here, and they ultimately get you to the finish line. You come out of this baby, all right? Okay, so the point that I want to make about this is that we do have somebody that we can trust. We do. And it's Father God. He is so for us. He's never against us. He's always for us. And he's saying, hey, I can see the whole picture. I see the very end all the way back to the very beginning when I first created you, when you were born. And if you'll just listen to me, I'll get you where we're going. I have good plans for you, and they are plans to prosper you and to give you a hope and a future. They're not to hurt you. Okay? That's who he is. And this is what he wants to do for us. He just wants us to trust him, to surrender to him, and to listen to where he's telling us to go, because he knows where we're headed. He knows where we're going. And if we're going in circles and keep going in circles, and it's tiring and it's frustrating, and we just don't really want to do it anymore, he says, hey, why don't you listen to me, and I'll get you out of this mess. I'll get you out of this maze. I think that's so good. I think he's so loving like that he wants to help us. And all it takes is just surrendering to him, just being willing to surrender to his ways, acknowledging that your way isn't the right way, but his is. His ways are better. His ways are right. They are true, and they are tested. He says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And that's who he is. And that's what he wants to do for us. When I was talking to him the other day, this is what I heard him saying to me, okay? I heard him saying, T-R-U-S-T, won't you trust in me? Oh, it went dark. Hold on. T-R-U-S-T, won't you trust in me? Do you hear what I'm saying? This is what I heard him saying. T-R-U-S-T, won't you trust in me? This is a season of God taking us deeper into a trust relationship with him. He wants us to know who he is for us. He wants us to know who we are, who he created us to be, our true identity, that it comes from him and not in who the world says we are, not in how the world tells us, well, you're this or you're that, or even if you have believed certain things about yourself that aren't true. Father God wants to reveal to us our true identity, who we are in him. And I can just tell you, there's nothing like that. Because once you know who you are and whose you are, then everything changes. Everything changes. So I just want to encourage you today and ask you, who do you trust? And why do you trust them? And I just want to encourage you today that you do have a creator, a Father God who created you, who loves you so much, who desires relationship with you. He wants to talk to you about your life. He wants to reveal the plans that he has for you. He wants to take you into new things that he has created and prepared just for you. And I'm talking about the here and now, not just when we die and go to heaven. There are new things that he has for you here, today, in this world, for now. Okay? And I want to say, I want to end with these verses. This is my first time to do this, so you're just going to have to bear with me, okay? Isaiah 42:16 says, along unfamiliar paths, I will guide them. I will turn the darkness into light before them and make the rough places smooth. These are the things I will do. I will not forsake them. And forsake means to turn your heart away from. To turn away. Okay, that's what people do, but Father God never does that. He says that he will never forsake us and he'll never leave us. So he'll never turn his heart away from us, even in our worst moments, in our most disgusting, rebellious, worst moments. Okay, here's another one I also want to leave you with. Proverbs 16:9. A man's mind plans his way as he journeys through life, but the Lord directs his steps and establishes them. There's so much that Father God wants to be for you. All it takes is surrender and a willingness to obey him. It's exciting. Okay, that's all I have for today.